She thought she would be queen. In fact, she was a victim of a secret royal ritual. Welcome to the script story. In this video, we will dive into the dark story of a film full of betrayal and extraordinary courage. Damsel, the film released in 2024, tells the story of Princess Elodie, a noble girl who was married to the prince of the kingdom of Aurea, but she was made a tubal as a symbol of the ritual of the kingdom of Aurea. Did Elodie manage to get out of the ritual, or would she disappear forever? And this is the plot. Hundreds of years ago, a mighty king and his best soldiers climbed a haunted mountain to end the terror of a dragon that had long haunted their people. However, their hopes were dashed instantly. In one gust of blazing fire, the dragon devoured the entire army, leaving behind only ashes and tragic memories. Centuries later, the world has changed, but the suffering is still rooted in the same place. In the midst of an endless winter, two princesses, Elodie and her sister Floria, carry firewood with their own hands, not because they want to, but because their kingdom is ravaged by famine and the frozen ground is no longer arable. The people are suffering, and the royal family is not spared. While carrying wood home, Elodie and Floria saw a strange horse-drawn carriage entering the royal grounds. The two of them rushed back to the palace. There, they found their father, Lord Bayford, and stepmother receiving a mysterious priest in a red robe. It turned out that the priest was carrying an important letter from the Queen of the Aurea Kingdom. The letter was not just a letter, it was a proposal. Prince Aurea, Henry, wanted to marry Princess Elodie, and in return, the kingdom of Bayford would receive abundant wealth. In order to save her people from starvation, Elodie suppressed her heart and agreed to the proposal, even though her heart screamed with compulsion. A few days, the Bayford royal family sailed towards the island of the kingdom of Aurea. The two-day journey took them to a world shrouded in dense fog and greeted by two giant dragon statues, as if to warn them of the terrible fate that awaited them. After resting for a while at the inn, they were taken to the Aurea palace. There, the royal servants led Elodie to a luxurious but cold private room. The next day, she was scheduled to meet the prince for the first time. That day, Elodie was alone in the tower, her eyes staring out the window. She saw a mysterious girl, Eloise, with a look full of hurt and regret. That look haunted Elodie until late at night. As she was pensive, the wind blew the curtains of her room, and Floria, somehow, entered the room. She said that she couldn't sleep because she was thinking about her sister who was going to get married soon. Her words were full of meaning, but Elodie didn't understand the threat yet.
Do you know your heart?
The next day, Queen Isabel introduces Elodie to Prince Henry. Henry takes her for a walk in the garden. Elodie is captivated by his good looks, but Henry acts indifferently. In small talk, Elodie mentions the strange lights she saw at the foot of the mountain. Henry simply replies that it was part of their royal wedding ritual, an ancient ritual that has accompanied every generation. Meanwhile, Elodie's stepmother began to feel strange. When she found Lord Bayford and Queen Isabel discussing the matter of the reward, suspicions grew. She tried to ask her husband about the wedding plans, but was rejected. Bayford only replied that Isabel would still give the reward, no matter what.
I said nothing. Nothing's wrong.
Driven by a bad feeling, the stepmother goes alone to meet Isabel. She starts a diplomatic conversation about the relationship between the kingdoms. But Isabel shows her dark side. She not only insults the Bayfords, but also calls Elodie by the name Eloise, as if confusing identities. The stepmother begins to realize, maybe this is no ordinary marriage. Maybe, Henry will marry more than one princess, for something terrible. Frantically, the stepmother tries to warn Elodie, but before she can reveal everything, Lord Bayford appears and tells her to leave. The truth remains hidden. The dreaded day finally arrived, the wedding day. Elodie, dressed like an angel, walked into the garden for the wedding ceremony. All eyes were on her. Henry, with an unreadable smile, greeted her, and in a fit of happiness, they were officially married. But the happiness was just a mirage. After the ceremony, Henry took Elodie to the foot of the mountain where the real royal ritual took place. Dark, silent, and eerie. Masked people stood in a circle, like a cult. Elodie felt her guts collapse, but she tried to be strong. Queen Isabel begins the ritual with an ancestral story. The first king of Aurea once made a pact with the island's original inhabitant, the dragon. Since the dragon could not be killed, the king offered his 3 daughters as sacrifices in order to establish a kingdom over half of the island. Elodie and Henry's blood is mixed as a symbol of the union of royal blood. Then Henry carries Elodie across a suspension bridge. But in the middle of the bridge, Elodie is betrayed. Henry throws her into a ravine. Elodie is not a bride, she is a sacrifice. Falling to the bottom of the cave, Elodie is badly injured. But more than that, she finds horrors. Bones, victims' jewelry and strange fires in the darkness. There, the dragon appears, a beast that can actually talk. The dragon begins to chase Elodie, breathing fire in all directions. Elodie runs through a tunnel and finds Eloise's body. She realizes that Eloise has been a victim before. In her escape, Elodie finds glowing blue leeches and water dripping from the ceiling. As her burns are healed by the leeches, hope appears. She finds a map made by a previous victim, Princess Victoria, and follows a path out. But at the mouth of the cave, the road is dead. Elodie is now at the top of the mountain. In the distance, she sees her father and 3 men coming to look for her. But their presence also provokes the dragon. When Elodie returns to her father, she stumbles upon 3 petrified baby dragons, a discovery that slowly reveals the reason behind the king's pact. Hundreds of years ago, the first king of Aurea killed 3 newly hatched baby dragons. As atonement, the dragon demanded that his offspring, a daughter, be offered as a sacrifice. In an instant 2 soldiers were killed. Bayford tried to fight back, but in vain. In his dying state, Bayford asked Elodie to save herself. After the dragon left, Elodie climbed the rope to the top. She escaped on horseback and became the first victim to escape the death ritual. But the dragon did not remain silent. He was furious, burned the forest, and Queen Isabel kidnapped Floria as a substitute sacrifice. Hearing that Floria had been kidnapped, Elodie gave chase. She arrived at the cave and found Floria had been thrown into a ravine. Elodie chased down and devised a strategy to distract the dragon and managed to save Floria from the dragon's fire. In a nearly unequal duel, Elodie was wounded and cornered. But she rose. With her father's sword, she fought back. She used the ricochet of the wall to direct the dragon's fire at herself. Finally, the dragon fell. But Elodie didn't choose revenge. She convinced the dragon of the Aureans' lies and healed him with blue leeches. The two reconciled. Elodie returns to Aurea's palace and finds Isabel marrying Henry to another princess as a sacrifice. Elodie orders the princess and her family to leave immediately, and also orders all non-Aureans to leave the palace. Suddenly, the dragon appears in a rage, breathing fire that incinerates Isabel, her family, and the entire palace. With the palace crumbling and the truth revealed, Elodie returns to her kingdom with Floria and her stepmother. In the sky, the flying dragon accompanies them home, no longer as a threat but as the new guardian of the just kingdom. The film ends. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.